How many new years have you opened, full of grand intentions, only to find yourself months later facing the same lingering sense of unfulfilled promise? Cast your mind back, truly reflect upon the procession of calendars turning, each new January bringing with it a fresh surge of hope, a renewed vow to finally achieve that elusive goal. Did you not sketch out the blueprints of a better self, a richer life, a more impactful endeavor? Did you not, with earnest sincerity, declare to yourself, and perhaps to others, that this year would be different? Yet, as the seasons spun their inevitable course, did you not also encounter, with a disheartening predictability, the familiar echo of projects left unfinished, ambitions only partially realized, or worse, entirely abandoned? This recurring pattern, this quiet internal lament, is not merely a coincidence of circumstance. It points to a profound, yet often overlooked deficiency in the very foundation of your approach to achievement. Consider the weight of those unspoken aspirations, the quiet resignation that sometimes settles in when another year concludes, leaving significant portions of your grand design still trapped within the realm of wishful thinking. This is not a personal failing in the conventional sense, nor is it evidence of some inherent limitation in your capacity. Instead, it is a clear signal, an internal warning, indicating a missing key, a vital piece of understanding that separates those who consistently manifest their desires from those who perpetually drift. Have you ever truly paused to consider what truly stands between your deepest desires and their ultimate manifestation? It is not merely effort, for many toil relentlessly without commensurate reward. It is not solely about luck, for fortune often favors the prepared mind, not simply the hopeful one. The chasm, my friend, lies in a fundamental misstep, a critical oversight in harnessing the most potent, yet often unexamined, force at your command: your own mind. Think about it with utmost sincerity. How many new years have you already started with the identical wish list, only to conclude them with that same unsettling feeling that something, some crucial element, still hasn't precisely clicked into place? This cyclic pattern of enthusiastic commencement followed by a gradual fade into unfulfillment is not merely a consequence of external obstacles. It is frequently an internal misalignment, a subtle yet pervasive disjuncture between intention and execution, between aspiration and its mental blueprint. This dissonance is precisely what we must address, for within its resolution lies the true power to reshape your reality. You possess an intricate mechanism, a sophisticated apparatus of thought and belief, capable of astonishing feats of creation. The challenge, however, lies in its deliberate and conscious activation. What if I were to tell you that there exists a form of mental software, a meticulously designed program for the human consciousness, conceptualized and refined almost a century ago, that can irrevocably reverse this recurring cycle of unfulfilled promise? A precise methodology that transforms abstract dreams into concrete realities, not through some mystical incantation or an ephemeral stroke of luck, but through deliberate, disciplined, and systematic engineering of the mind. This is not a vague concept of positive thinking, but a blueprint for action, a verifiable sequence of mental steps that, when correctly applied, compels the universe to respond. This is the very essence of what you are about to discover. This understanding, once grasped and implemented, provides the essential leverage to propel you beyond the inertia of past disappointments into an era of unprecedented conquest. Your capacity for achievement is far greater than you currently permit yourself to believe. The question is, are you ready to engage the full scope of that dormant power? The lingering question, that sensation of untapped potential, leads us directly to a figure who meticulously charted the pathways to success, transforming fleeting observations into an enduring science. In an era marked by profound industrial and social upheavals, a time when titans of industry forged empires and visionary thinkers reshaped the very fabric of society, one individual did not merely witness these grand transformations. No, he undertook a monumental task, a lifelong quest to dissect the very essence of achievement. Napoleon Hill, through decades of relentless inquiry and unparalleled access to the minds of the most successful individuals of his time, did not just observe the principles governing immense fortune and influence. He systematically deconstructed them, codified them, and then reassembled them into a coherent, actionable philosophy. He became, in essence, the architect of abundance, the cartographer of ambition, mapping out the precise coordinates required to transition from mere desire to tangible dominion. He was not content with anecdotes or superficial explanations. His pursuit was deeper, more rigorous, akin to a scientific endeavor into the mechanics of human aspiration and its eventual realization. And from this exhaustive synthesis of countless lives lived at the pinnacle of human endeavor, he distilled an immutable truth, a concentrated essence of all he had learned. A truth so potent, yet deceptively simple, that it has echoed through generations, continually challenging and inspiring those who dare to listen. He condensed everything, every lesson, every insight into one of the most powerful and transformative statements ever articulated. Everything the human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This is not a mere platitude, understand this deeply. It is not a comforting sentiment to be whispered in moments of doubt. It is, in fact, the fundamental operating instruction for the human spirit, a declaration of innate creative power. However, recognizing this phrase is one thing. Truly internalizing and activating its profound implications is quite another. Many hear these words, perhaps even repeat them, yet their lives remain largely unchanged. Why? Because the superficial understanding often overshadows the intricate mechanism that Hill so painstakingly revealed. We often stop at the poetic beauty of the statement, failing to grasp the rigorous mental discipline and strategic application it demands. This is where the true power of this present moment lies, in moving beyond mere recognition to profound engagement. In this very discussion, we will embark on a journey that transcends a simple recitation of Hill's wisdom. We are about to unravel the unseen forces, the subtle yet pervasive mental obstacles, the two invisible traps that, like silent predators, consistently ensnare nearly 99% of individuals, preventing them from genuinely activating this potent declaration in their own lives. These traps are insidious precisely because they often operate beneath the radar of conscious awareness, subtly sabotaging even the most sincere intentions. Furthermore, we will not merely identify these traps, we will arm you with the countermeasures. You will receive a precisely structured three-step plan directly inspired by the timeless teachings of Napoleon Hill himself. This is not about abstract theory. It is a practical, implementable framework designed to empower you. This plan will guide you with unwavering clarity on how to not only conceive with unparalleled precision and believe with unshakable conviction, but crucially, how to manifest your most audacious goals into existence in this unfolding year. Prepare yourself, therefore, not for another motivational sermon, but for a strategic awakening. Prepare to unlock a level of personal productivity and achievement you may have previously thought reserved only for others. This is the year your internal narrative shifts from wishing to doing, from hoping to having. How many new years have you opened, full of grand intentions, only to find yourself months later facing the same lingering sense of unfulfilled promise? Cast your mind back, truly reflect upon the procession of calendars turning, each new January bringing with it a fresh surge of hope, a renewed vow to finally achieve that elusive goal. Did you not sketch out the blueprints of a better self, a richer life, a more impactful endeavor? Did you not, with earnest sincerity, declare to yourself, and perhaps to others, that this year would be different? Yet, as the seasons spun their inevitable course, did you not also encounter, with a disheartening predictability, the familiar echo of projects left unfinished ambitions only partially realized, or worse, entirely abandoned. This recurring pattern, this quiet internal lament, is not merely a coincidence of circumstance. It points to a profound, yet often overlooked, deficiency in the very foundation of your approach to achievement. Consider the weight of those unspoken aspirations, the quiet resignation that sometimes settles in when another year concludes, leaving significant portions of your grand design still trapped within the realm of wishful thinking. This is not a personal failing in the conventional sense, nor is it evidence of some inherent limitation in your capacity. Instead, it is a clear signal, an internal warning, indicating a missing key, a vital piece of understanding that separates those who consistently manifest their desires from those who perpetually drift. Have you ever truly paused to consider what truly stands between your deepest desires and their ultimate manifestation? It is not merely effort, for many toil relentlessly without commensurate reward. It is not solely about luck, for fortune often favors the prepared mind, not simply the hopeful one. The chasm, my friend, lies in a fundamental misstep, a critical oversight in harnessing the most potent, yet often unexamined force at your command, your own mind. Think about it with utmost sincerity. How many new years have you already started with the identical wish list, only to conclude them with that same unsettling feeling that some crucial element, still hasn't precisely clicked into place? This cyclic pattern of enthusiastic commencement followed by a gradual fade into unfulfillment is not merely a consequence of external obstacles. It is frequently an internal misalignment, a subtle yet pervasive disjuncture between intention and execution, between aspiration and its mental blueprint. This dissonance is precisely what we must address, for within its resolution lies the true power to reshape your reality. You possess an intricate mechanism, a sophisticated apparatus of thought and belief, capable of astonishing feats of creation. The challenge, however, lies in its deliberate and conscious activation. What if I were to tell you that there exists a form of mental software, a meticulously designed program for the human consciousness, conceptualized and refined almost a century ago, that can irrevocably reverse this recurring cycle of unfulfilled promise? A precise methodology that transforms abstract dreams into concrete realities, not through some mystical incantation or an ephemeral stroke of luck, but through deliberate, disciplined, and systematic engineering of the mind. This is not a vague concept of positive thinking, but a blueprint for action, a verifiable sequence of mental steps that, when correctly applied, compels the universe to respond. This is the very essence of what you are about to discover. This understanding, once grasped and implemented, provides the essential leverage to propel you beyond the inertia of past disappointments into an era of unprecedented conquest. Your capacity for achievement is far greater than you currently permit yourself to believe. The question is, are you ready to engage the full scope of that dormant power? The lingering question, that sensation of untapped potential, that pervasive feeling of having more to offer, yet falling short of its full expression, leads us directly to a figure who did not merely observe success, but meticulously charted its pathways, transforming fleeting observations into an enduring science. In an era marked by profound industrial and social upheavals, a time when titans of industry forged empires of unprecedented scale and visionary thinkers reshaped the very fabric of human society, one individual did not content himself with merely witnessing these grand transformations unfold around him. No, he undertook a monumental task, a lifelong quest fueled by an insatiable curiosity to dissect the very essence of human achievement. Napoleon Hill, through decades of relentless inquiry, unprecedented access to the minds of the most accomplished individuals of his time, and an unwavering commitment to uncover universal principles, did not just observe the elements governing immense fortune and influence. He systematically deconstructed them, He codified them, and then, with the precision of a master engineer, he reassembled them into a coherent, actionable philosophy. He became, in essence, the architect of abundance, the cartographer of ambition, painstakingly mapping out the precise coordinates required to transition from mere desire to tangible dominion. He was not content with superficial explanations, with anecdotal evidence, or with the comforting but ultimately unhelpful vagaries of popular opinion. His pursuit was deeper, more rigorous, a meticulous endeavor akin to a scientific investigation into the fundamental mechanics of human aspiration and its eventual, inevitable realization. His was a quest for immutable laws, for verifiable truths that transcended individual circumstances. And from this exhaustive synthesis of countless lives lived at the pinnacle of human endeavor, from the countless interviews, the countless failures and triumphs he analyzed, he distilled an immutable truth, a concentrated essence of all he had learned. A truth so potent yet often deceptively simple in its phrasing that it has echoed through generations, continually challenging, perpetually inspiring, and unfailingly guiding those who possess the courage to truly listen, to truly understand its profound implications. He condensed everything, every single lesson, every profound insight, every hard-won principle into one of the most powerful and transformative statements ever articulated. This, then, is the revelation. Everything the human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Pause for a moment. Let the weight of those words settle upon your consciousness. This is not a mere platitude. Understand this deeply. It is not a comforting sentiment to be whispered in moments of self-doubt. It is, in fact, the fundamental operating instruction for the human spirit, a declaration of innate creative power that resides within each of us. It is a bold assertion of the mind's supreme command over its own destiny. Yet recognizing this phrase, perhaps even repeating it aloud, is one thing. Truly internalizing its profound implications, truly activating its latent power, is quite another. Many hear these words, perhaps even repeat them, perhaps even endorse them with a nod of agreement, yet their lives, paradoxically, often remain largely unchanged. Why is this so? What explains this profound disconnect between recognition and realization? It is because the superficial understanding often tragically overshadows the intricate, deliberate mechanism that Hill so painstakingly revealed. We often stop at the poetic beauty of the statement, satisfied with its inspirational quality, failing to grasp the rigorous mental discipline, the precise psychological engineering, and the strategic application it demands. We admire the philosophy, but neglect the operational manual. This is precisely where the true power of this very discussion lies, in our collective journey together, in moving beyond mere recognition to profound engagement, from passive hearing to active conscious implementation. In this detailed exploration, we are about to unravel the unseen forces, the subtle yet pervasive mental obstacles, the two invisible traps that, like silent, cunning predators, consistently ensnare nearly 99% of individuals, preventing them from genuinely activating this potent declaration in their own lives. These traps are insidious precisely because they often operate beneath the radar of conscious awareness, subtly, persistently sabotaging even the most sincere intentions, eroding belief before it can take root. Furthermore, we will not merely identify these hidden snares. We will arm you with the precise countermeasures, the intellectual weapons necessary to dismantle them. You will receive a precisely structured three-step plan, a practical and immediately implementable framework directly inspired by the timeless teachings of Napoleon Hill himself, yet presented with a contemporary clarity. This is not about abstract theory. It is a meticulously crafted, actionable sequence designed to empower you. This plan will guide you, with unwavering clarity and undeniable logic, on how to not only conceive your objectives with unparalleled precision and believe in their attainability with unshakable conviction, but, crucially, how to manifest your most audacious goals and deepest aspirations into tangible existence in this unfolding year. Prepare yourself, therefore, not for another fleeting motivational sermon, but for a profound strategic awakening, a recalibration of your mental faculties. Prepare to unlock a level of personal productivity, achievement, and fulfillment you may have previously thought reserved only for others. This is the year your internal narrative shifts irrevocably from wishing to doing, from hoping to having, from merely dreaming to definitively achieving. We have spoken of conceiving, of believing, and of achieving. But let us dissect the very first pillar, the genesis of all accomplishment: to conceive. What does it truly mean to conceive? Is it merely to wish, to dream, to harbor a vague aspiration for something better? Many stumble at this very first threshold, their journey curtailed before it even properly begins, by what I term the trap of vague desire. Think about it with piercing honesty. How often do individuals declare, with earnest sincerity, that they desire success or happiness or wealth? These are noble sentiments, certainly, serving as a general direction, but consider their fundamental flaw. What precisely does success look like to you? Is it financial independence, represented by a specific sum in your account by a certain date? Is it a certain level of public recognition, marked by a particular title or accolade? Is it a specific contribution to humanity, a project completed, an innovation launched? Without a precise definition, without an undeniable form and substance that you can hold and examine in your mind, how can your mind, or indeed the vast, intricate mechanisms of the universe, begin to construct it? My decades of study into the lives of the most remarkable achievers revealed an undeniable truth, a recurring pattern that cannot be ignored. The universe, this vast, intricate mechanism of cause and effect, of energy and manifestation, responds not to generalized longing, but to precision. It is a meticulous engineer, not a benevolent all-purpose wish-granter for undefined wants. A vague desire, an ill-defined ambition, is nothing more than an invitation for vague results, for a continuation of the imprecise, the uncertain, the unfulfilling. This is the first and perhaps most subtle, yet profoundly sabotaging trap that derails countless potential successes. If you cannot clearly delineate the exact contours of your objective, if you cannot describe it with the clarity of an architect presenting a blueprint, how can you expect your mental faculties to organize themselves or external circumstances to align to manifest it? The human mind, in its most powerful, creative state, functions not as a nebulous wishing well, but as a meticulously precise architect. It requires blueprints, detailed specifications, a crystal-clear image of the end result. This indispensable requirement brings us to a revolutionary concept, one that extends far beyond mere passive visualization: the five-dimensional mental blueprint. To truly conceive, to truly lay the groundwork for unwavering belief and ultimately for undeniable achievement, you must engage your imagination with an intensity, a sensory richness that transcends simple, two-dimensional imagery. You must construct a mental blueprint of your desired outcome that involves not just what you see, but that fully engages and satisfies all five of your primary senses. This is not some abstract, esoteric exercise. This is the fundamental, most profound act of programming your reality at its most foundational level. Consider with utmost focus your single, most compelling, most audacious objective for this year. Do not merely see it in your mind's eye. Go deeper, much deeper. What does it feel like to touch your achievement? Is it the smooth, cool leather of a new car's steering wheel gripped firmly in your hands? Is it the rough, satisfying texture of a finished manuscript, its pages turning beneath your fingertips? Is it the comforting, warm embrace Of a loved one celebrating your victory alongside you? What specific sounds accompany your success? Is it the thunderous roar of applause from an audience you've inspired? Is it the quiet, efficient hum of your fully automated, flourishing business? Is it the joyful, unrestrained laughter of your family echoing through the halls of your new home? What is the distinctive taste of this triumph? The rich, celebratory meal shared with cherished companions? The satisfying, almost sweet taste of relief that accompanies completion? The invigorating, fresh taste of a new, abundant beginning? What unique scent pervades that precise moment of attainment? The fresh ink of a signed, momentous contract? The clean, crisp air of a new, expansive environment? The distinct, intoxicating aroma of accomplishment itself? And yes, what do you see with such undeniable clarity that it is as if it is happening right now, in this very instant, before your very eyes? The precise details, the vibrant colors, the genuine expressions on the faces of those around you, the environment in every minute particular. This intensive multisensory engagement is the very essence of what I termed definiteness of purpose. It is not enough to want. You must know what you want, in excruciating, vivid, emotionally charged detail. This level of precise conception harnesses the unparalleled power of the subconscious mind, transforming a mere fleeting idea into a pervasive, driving obsession, a burning desire so potent that it compels consistent, unwavering action. When you engage all 5 senses in this profound mental construction, you are not merely passively imagining. You are actively instructing your subconscious. You are preparing your entire being, every fiber of your thought and emotion, for its eventual, inevitable materialization. Take a moment right now as you absorb these words. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable in your current environment, and allow no distraction to penetrate. For just 15 seconds, transport yourself entirely into the future, into the exact, vivid moment you achieve that single, most important goal you have set for yourself this year. Feel it as if your hand is already on it. Hear the congratulations, the sounds of your success. Taste the triumph, savor the moment. Smell the environment of your victory. See it with undeniable clarity, as if watching a film of your own future. Immerse yourself fully. This brief exercise, this profound mental immersion, is not simply imagination. It is the fundamental act of programming your reality. It is the conscious creation of a mental image so real, so compelling, so intrinsically felt, that your subconscious mind accepts it not as a distant, hopeful wish, but as an imminent, undeniable command. This precise, multi-sensory conception is the indispensable first step on the path to achievement. Without this absolute clarity, this detailed blueprint, belief inevitably falters, and achievement remains an elusive mirage, forever just beyond your grasp. Your mind, in its infinite power, demands and requires this clarity, this detailed, sensory-rich blueprint, to begin its miraculous work of bringing your deepest desires into physical form. We have meticulously laid the groundwork, painstakingly constructing the precise mental blueprint of your desired achievement. We have conceived in vivid, multisensory detail the exact nature of your objective. But a blueprint, however meticulously drawn, however exquisitely detailed, remains merely a concept, a potentiality, until it is imbued with the very force that gives it life. This force, this indispensable catalyst, is belief. To conceive without believing is akin to drawing a magnificent architectural plan and then refusing to lay the first stone, doubting the very possibility of its construction. This brings us to the second, and arguably more insidious barrier to all achievement, what I have termed the trap of disguised doubt. Consider with profound introspection the nature of this particular impediment. It rarely announces itself with blaring trumpets or overt declarations of skepticism. No, doubt is a master of camouflage, a quiet saboteur that often masquerades as prudence, as realism, as a sensible adherence to the known limitations. It whispers seductively of past failures, of external challenges, of the sheer impossibility of what you envision. You might articulate your goals, you might even say you believe in them, but how often do your subsequent actions, or more tellingly, your internal dialogue, betray a different truth? Does that clear blueprint you just constructed feel like an unshakable conviction, or merely a pleasant fantasy? Does a nagging voice inside question your worthiness, your capability, the practicality of your endeavor? This internal dissonance, this chasm between your conscious assertion of belief and the subconscious hesitation, is the very core of this trap. This disguised doubt is the silent virus that, with relentless efficacy, corrodes the very foundation of your mental blueprint. It gnaws at the edges of your conviction, slowly eroding the resolve that is absolutely essential for the sustained effort required for any significant accomplishment. You might begin with a fervent zeal, but if the seeds of doubt are allowed to germinate within the fertile ground of your subconscious, they will inevitably choke the life out of your nascent ambition. Napoleon Hill, in his exhaustive studies of those who amassed vast fortunes and achieved extraordinary success, discovered that unwavering faith was not merely an advantageous trait. It was an absolute prerequisite. It was the fuel that powered the engine of creation, the very oxygen that allowed the flame of desire to burn bright and persistent. Without it, even the most brilliant idea, the most detailed plan, is destined to flicker and die. How then do we cultivate this unshakable faith? This brings us to a radical yet profoundly practical concept, particularly relevant in our information-saturated age: the mental diet of Hill for the digital era. Just as your physical body requires nourishing food to sustain health and energy, your mind, your subconscious operating system, demands a specific kind of input to cultivate robust belief. Hill understood the paramount importance of controlling one's mental environment. He meticulously guarded his thoughts, deliberately sought out inspiring conversations, and immersed himself in knowledge that fortified his convictions. In our current landscape, where every device, every platform, every fleeting interaction offers a torrent of information, both uplifting and destructive, the practice of a conscious mental diet becomes not just advisable, but absolutely critical. Think of it. What are you feeding your mind daily? Is it a steady stream of negativity from news cycles that amplify fear and scarcity? Is it comparison and self-doubt born from the curated perfection of social media feeds? Is it the cynical pronouncements of those around you who have surrendered their own dreams? Every piece of information you consume, every conversation you engage in, every thought you entertain is either building up your belief system or systematically dismantling it. This is not about burying your head in the sand, it is about strategic ingestion. Just as Hill intentionally surrounded himself with masterminds and uplifting influences, you must proactively curate your mental input, filter out the noise, consciously choose sources of inspiration, knowledge, and affirmation that align with your highest aspirations. Recognize that unchecked negative input acts as a corrosive acid, steadily dissolving the precious metal of your belief. Your subconscious mind is an obedient servant. It processes whatever you feed it. Feed it doubt, and it will generate doubt. Feed it possibility and conviction, and it will begin to construct the path to possibility. This disciplined mental diet lays the foundation for our most powerful tool in activating belief, the conscious self-suggestion cycle. This is not some passive wishful thinking, a mere hope uttered into the void. This is a deliberate scientific method for programming your subconscious mind until an intellectual agreement transforms into an unshakable, visceral conviction, a burning faith that compels action. Here is how it functions, aligning perfectly with Hill's profound insights on auto-suggestion and faith. First, with unwavering consistency, you must repeat powerful, positive affirmations. These affirmations are not generic statements. They are precisely aligned with your five-dimensional mental blueprint. They must be present tense, deeply personal, and vividly descriptive of your goal already achieved. For instance, if your goal is financial abundance, you do not simply state, "I want to be rich," but rather, "I am now joyfully experiencing the freedom and impact that specific amount of income provides me daily, contributing meaningfully to the world." Second, and critically, this verbal repetition must be combined with intense emotional visualization. As you articulate your affirmation, simultaneously re-engage with your five-dimensional mental blueprint. Feel the emotions of accomplishment, see the details, hear the sounds, taste the triumph, smell the success. This fusion of articulate thought and potent emotion is the key. The conscious mind, with its inherent skepticism, often filters out mere words. But when words are imbued with powerful emotion and vivid sensory experience, they bypass the critical conscious barrier and directly imprint upon the subconscious. Through this consistent, emotionally charged input, repeated daily, with a frequency that borders on obsession, your subconscious mind begins to accept these affirmations as undeniable truths. It stops questioning if it is possible and starts working tirelessly on how to make it possible. This practice converts the conceivable into the believable, and then, with an almost mathematical certainty, into the inevitable. This is not an act of magic, but an understanding of the fundamental principles of psychological programming. Hill taught us that faith is not a gift. It is a cultivated state of mind, forged in the crucible of conscious thought and persistent self-suggestion. It is an active discipline, a daily commitment to feed your mind with the nourishment of possibility and conviction. Only then can your meticulously crafted blueprint transcend the realm of mere possibility and enter the domain of absolute, unyielding reality. Type 1 to write the next topic or type the changes you want. We have forged the initial, vital links in the chain of achievement. You have learned to conceive your desires with the architectural precision of a master builder, painting a five-dimensional mental blueprint so vivid it practically vibrates with life. You have begun the rigorous, essential work of activating and cultivating an unshakable belief, feeding your mind a nourishing diet of conviction, and programming your subconscious through the conscious self-suggestion cycle. These are fundamental, non-negotiable steps. Yet, even the most magnificent blueprint, held with the most profound belief, remains in the realm of the mental until it is brought into the physical through decisive, intelligent action. The gap between intention and manifestation is bridged by a systematic, practical application of timeless principles. This is where we transcend mere theory and step onto the practical terrain of execution, guided by the three-step map of Hill, from mind to manifestation. This is your actionable strategy, your sequence of operations to compel the universe to yield to your determined will. The first step in this transformative map is a principle often misunderstood, frequently underestimated, and yet absolutely crucial for any significant sustained success: the Mastermind Alliance, your co-pilots for success. Many individuals, driven by ambition and a fierce sense of independence, fall prey to the delusion that they must conquer their objectives in solitary isolation. They attempt to shoulder every burden, solve every problem, generate every idea, believing that their personal genius alone is sufficient. This, my friend, is a recipe for exhaustion, stagnation, and ultimate failure. Napoleon Hill dedicated an entire chapter, a profound exposition, to the power of the mastermind. He discovered that virtually every individual who achieved extraordinary heights did so not in solitude, but in collaboration with others. A mastermind alliance is not merely a networking group. It is a harmonious coordination of two or more individuals who unite for the attainment of a definite purpose, bringing their unique skills, knowledge, experience, and perspectives into a synergistic whole. Think of it as creating a collective brain, a mental and spiritual powerhouse, far greater in its capacity than the sum of its individual parts. Why is this so profoundly crucial? Because your vision, however clear, however potent, has inherent blind spots. Your knowledge, however vast, has limitations. Your energy, however boundless, has finite reserves. A mastermind alliance amplifies your vision, offering diverse perspectives that challenge assumptions and reveal opportunities you might otherwise miss. It provides a collective reservoir of energy, offering support, encouragement, and accountability when your individual resolve might waver. It aggregates knowledge, allowing you to tap into expertise that you do not personally possess. It creates a dynamic of constructive criticism and mutual inspiration, where ideas are sharpened, plans are refined, and obstacles are tackled with a combined force that renders them surmountable. Your task, therefore, for this new year is to consciously identify and cultivate your own mastermind. Who are the 1 to 3 individuals, perhaps a mentor whose wisdom you respect, a peer whose skills complement yours, or a friend who shares your ambitious vision, who can genuinely amplify your purpose? Approach them not with a request for help, but with an invitation to co-create, to form an alliance where the success of one fuels the success of all. This harmonious collaboration is a direct channel for greater intelligence and power to flow into your endeavor, accelerating your manifestation process beyond anything you could achieve alone. This is not dependence. It is intelligent interdependence, a strategic move by anyone serious about achievement. The second, equally vital step on this map is the cultivation of relentless persistence with strategic flexibility, the dance of progress. Persistence is a word often thrown about, usually conjuring images of unyielding, stubborn resolve, of banging one's head against a wall until it breaks. This is a partial and often counterproductive understanding. My research, gleaned from the lives of those who mastered their own destinies, revealed a deeper truth. Persistence is absolutely non-negotiable, but it must be coupled with an intelligent, almost intuitive flexibility. As I observed, failure is merely a signal to try a different plan. Understand this distinction deeply. The objective must remain fixed, an unwavering North Star guided by your 5-dimensional mental blueprint and fortified by your unshakable belief. But the path, the method, the approach to reaching that objective must be approached with an agile, adaptive mindset. Blind stubbornness to a failing method is not persistence. It is an exercise in futility, a self-imposed prison. The true master of achievement understands that setbacks, obstacles, and moments where a chosen path proves ineffective are not signs of defeat. They are invaluable data points. They are feedback mechanisms from the universe, urging you to reassess, to innovate, to pivot your strategy while holding fast to your ultimate goal. This is the art of pivoting, the capacity to learn from what isn't working, to creatively adjust your sails without abandoning your destination. This requires courage, a willingness to admit that a particular tactic was flawed, and the intellectual humility to seek new, more effective solutions. Your faith in the outcome must be absolute, but your attachment to a specific process must be conditional. The landscape of opportunity is dynamic. You must be dynamic within it. Every great inventor, every successful entrepreneur, every leader who broke new ground encountered countless failures of method before discovering the one that worked. Their greatness lay not in avoiding these missteps, but in their unwavering persistence towards the goal, coupled with an intelligent, relentless pursuit of better ways to achieve it. Your determination fuels your forward motion, but your intelligence refines its direction. This strategic dance of persistence and flexibility ensures that your progress is not just forceful, but also intelligent and ultimately effective. Finally, we arrive at the third, yet profoundly impactful step, the principle of rendering. Extra service, multiplying your returns. This is perhaps the most understated yet consistently powerful principle that separates the truly successful from those who merely get by. It states, simply and unequivocally, that those who consistently prosper, who attract abundance and opportunity with apparent ease, are precisely those who consistently deliver more value than is expected or immediately compensated for. This is not an act of martyrdom. It is a strategic investment, a profound understanding of the fundamental laws of cause and effect in the universe. Imagine your efforts as seeds. Most people plant only enough seeds to yield their immediate requirement. But the individual who understands this principle plants in abundance, knowing that the soil of life will always return a harvest far greater than the original sowing, provided the quality of the seed is excellent. Consider how this applies to your specific objectives. In your profession, can you consistently go the extra mile, offer insights, solutions, or quality that exceeds expectations, even when not explicitly asked or immediately rewarded? In your personal projects, can you pour an additional layer of care, attention, and dedication into the details? In your relationships, can you offer support, understanding, and value that goes beyond what is strictly reciprocal? This principle creates an invisible currency of value. It builds your reputation, solidifies trust, and, most importantly, programs your subconscious mind to operate from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. When you consistently give more, you signal to yourself and to the world that you operate from a position of surplus, not deficit. This attracts more opportunities, more resources, and more collaborators who are eager to engage with someone who embodies such a profound work ethic and spirit of contribution. This extra service is not about being exploited. It is about strategically positioning yourself as an indispensable asset, a magnet for positive returns. It is the ultimate differentiator, transforming your efforts from mere transactions into true contributions that generate exponential rewards far beyond what could ever be calculated by a simple exchange. This principle, when consistently applied, ensures that the universe responds to your generous output with an even more generous input, propelling you inexorably towards your conceived and believed aspirations. The changes you want. We have journeyed together through the intricate architecture of achievement, meticulously dissecting the very essence of how dreams transmute into tangible realities. You have been armed with profound insights, the power of conceiving your objectives with the precision of a visionary architect, sketching a five-dimensional mental blueprint so vivid and compelling that it becomes an inescapable inner reality. You have been guided in activating and cultivating an unshakable belief, feeding your mind a nourishing diet of conviction, carefully curating your mental input, and programming your subconscious through the potent, conscious self-suggestion cycle until your desired outcome resonates with absolute certainty within your being. Furthermore, you have been equipped with the three-step map for manifestation, a practical sequence of engagement. Understanding the catalytic power of the Mastermind Alliance, embracing relentless persistence with strategic flexibility as your navigational compass through challenges, and recognizing the exponential returns of the principle of rendering extra service. The knowledge has now been imparted. The blueprints are complete, the fuel is ignited, and the map is unfurled before you. But here, at this crucial juncture, arises the most penetrating question, the one that separates mere aspiration from undeniable accomplishment. What precisely will you do with this profound understanding now? Will this remain merely another intellectually stimulating session, a collection of powerful ideas admired from a distance? Or will you seize this moment, this potent inflection point, and translate this dormant power into dynamic, transformative action? Knowledge, however profound, however meticulously acquired, remains nothing more than inert potential until it is activated by deliberate application. Your ability to transform your reality is not found in merely knowing these principles, but in the unwavering commitment to apply them, to embed them into the very fabric of your daily existence. The time for contemplation is over. The era of definitive execution has begun. Therefore, I extend to you a direct, unequivocal challenge, a focused exercise designed to ignite your momentum and prove, beyond any shadow of a doubt, the potent efficacy of these timeless principles. I call this the 30 Days of Hill Challenge. For the next 30 days, you are to engage in an intensive, deliberate, and unwavering application of everything we have discussed. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is clear. First, select one single, audacious, clearly defined objective for this year. This is not the time for vague desires. Let it be the goal that, if achieved, would profoundly alter the trajectory of your life. The one that, when conceived with your 5-dimensional mental blueprint, generates an undeniable surge of excitement and purpose within you. Second, for every single day of these 30 days, you will rigorously apply the 5-dimensional mental blueprint. Spend dedicated time, morning and night, and periodically throughout the day, immersing yourself in the complete sensory experience of your goal already achieved. See it, hear it, feel it, taste it, smell it, as if it is your current reality. Let your imagination run wild, painting every detail with unparalleled clarity and emotional intensity. Third, maintain an unyielding commitment to your mental diet and your conscious self-suggestion cycle. Guard your mental gate with vigilance. Actively seek out information and interactions that fortify your belief, and rigorously exclude anything that fosters doubt or negativity concerning your chosen objective. Engage in your personalized affirmations, repeated aloud and with deep conviction, continuously programming your subconscious mind with the certainty of your success. Fourth, you will actively initiate or deepen your engagement with the 3 steps of the map to manifestation, specifically applied to this one chosen goal. If you have not yet identified your master-mind alliance, dedicate time to seeking out potential co-pilots and initiating those crucial conversations. If obstacles arise, and they most certainly will, embrace the principle of relentless persistence with strategic flexibility, analyzing the feedback, pivoting your approach, and creatively seeking new solutions without abandoning your ultimate aim. And in every action you take related to this goal, consciously apply the principle of rendering extra service, striving to provide more value than is expected, sowing seeds of excellence that will yield an abundant harvest. Monitor your progress with diligent attention. Keep a journal of your thoughts, your actions, and the subtle yet powerful shifts you begin to observe in your external circumstances. This 30-day period is your personal laboratory, an intensive experiment in conscious creation. It is designed not only to propel you significantly forward on your chosen path, but more importantly, to build an unshakable experiential proof within you that these principles are not mere philosophy, but verifiable, practical tools for shaping your destiny. Witness the transformation, the unfolding of possibilities that were previously veiled, as your inner world begins to sculpt your outer reality. Now reflect once more upon that profound declaration which serves as the very cornerstone of all achievement, a truth I spent a lifetime uncovering. Life will pay you any price you ask. This statement is not a whimsical promise, nor is it a guarantee of unearned bounty. It is a precise articulation of a universal law, and it comes with clear conditions. It dictates that life, this vast responsive mechanism of opportunity and resource, is utterly impartial. It responds not to your wishes, but to your demands. It responds with an exact measure to the clarity of your conception, the depth of your belief, and the definiteness of your action, specifically your willingness to render a proportionate service. You must be crystal clear with your demand. That is the power of conceiving. You must truly, fundamentally believe it is your due, your birthright. That is the power of believing. The universe is not withholding. It is merely waiting for your absolute clarity, your unwavering conviction, and your decisive action. Therefore, understand this with every fiber of your being. The year unfolding before you, or any new phase of your life, will not miraculously bring different results. unless you fundamentally choose to be different. It demands a transformation, not of external conditions, but of your internal landscape, your thought processes, and your daily habits. It requires you to step into the role of the conscious creator, to take full, absolute responsibility for the mental and physical input that shapes your future. The power resides within you, dormant, waiting for your command. This is your moment. This is your year to claim what you have conceived and believed. Type 1 to write the next topic, or type the changes you want. Finally, we stand at the precipice of a momentous opportunity. You have absorbed the profound insights, understood the intricate mechanics of conception, belief, and the three-step map to manifestation. The power is now unequivocally within your grasp, a dormant giant awaiting your command. The question that lingers, the true test of this journey, is not whether you understood, but whether you will act. Will you allow these truths to remain mere intellectual curiosities? Or will you unleash their transformative potential in your own life, starting today, starting now? This is the moment for decisive action, for the unwavering commitment that separates the dreamers from the doers, the hopeful from the achievers. Therefore, I issue to you a final, profound challenge, a public declaration that will solidify your intent and activate a powerful principle of accountability. Having identified that single audacious goal for your 30 Days of Hill challenge, the one you have so meticulously conceived and begun to believe in, I demand this of you. Declare it. Articulate your specific objective in precise terms in the comments section below. Do not hold back. Do not allow false modesty or fear of judgment to silence your aspiration. Your public declaration is not merely a comment. It is an act of profound faith, a first tangible step in the manifestation process. It is the conscious engagement of the principle of consistency, solidifying your commitment not just to yourself, but to the universe. By stating your intent, you are planting a seed in the public square, inviting the collective energy and, indeed, the very forces of nature to conspire in your favor. Use the hashtag, let it bind us in a common purpose. Let it be my year of Hill. Let your voice join the chorus of those who refuse to let another year pass without claiming their rightful inheritance of achievement. Understand that in this act of declaration, you are not merely engaging with a digital platform. You are engaging with a fundamental law of the universe. You are stepping into the arena of conscious creation. And as you witness others declare their own objectives, a powerful collective energy, a nascent mastermind alliance, begins to form. Your individual efforts are amplified by the shared intention of a community of individuals committed to these principles. We are stronger, more resilient, and infinitely more capable when we stand united in purpose, even across the vast distances of the digital realm. This shared commitment becomes a reservoir of inspiration and accountability, reminding each of us that we are not alone in our pursuit of greatness. If the insights shared in this discussion have resonated deep within you, if they have sparked a fire of possibility and conviction in your spirit, then let your acknowledgement be tangible. Let your appreciation be an act of energetic reciprocity. Do not merely consume, contribute. Like this video, not as a casual gesture, but as a deliberate affirmation of the value you have received, a signal that these truths have stirred something profound within your being. It is an energetic endorsement, a ripple sent out into the digital ether that attracts more of the same. Furthermore, subscribe to this channel, not out of mere convenience, but as a conscious commitment to your continuous growth and unwavering pursuit of mastery. Consider it your dedicated resource, your ongoing source of strategic guidance and unwavering inspiration for the journey ahead. By subscribing, you are enrolling in a community of deliberate achievers, ensuring that you receive every subsequent insight, every future secret code, every piece of vital wisdom that will further illuminate your path to success. And do not forget to activate the notification bell. This is not a trivial action. It is your personal safeguard against missing the next crucial lesson, the next strategic insight that could be the very key you need for your next breakthrough. It ensures that you remain connected, continuously fed with the knowledge that empowers. Finally, and perhaps most profoundly, I urge you to share this video. Do not view this as a request for virality, but as an act of extra service to another human being. Think of someone in your life, a friend, a family member, a colleague, who stands at the threshold of a new year, grappling with unfulfilled potential, yearning for a blueprint for genuine transformation. By sharing this message, you are extending the very principle of the Mastermind Alliance, offering a lifeline of knowledge and inspiration to someone who might desperately need it. You are planting seeds of possibility in another's mind, and in doing so, you are amplifying the very principles that will lead to your own abundance. This act of generous sharing is the ultimate expression of the principle of rendering extra service, ensuring that your own returns will be multiplied in ways you cannot yet fathom. Remember this, and let it echo in the deepest chambers of your mind. The phrase I dedicated my life to uncovering, the immutable truth that everything the human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, is not a poetic fantasy. It is not a promise of magic. It is, in its essence, the physics of success. It describes the undeniable, verifiable laws by which thought transmutes into reality. Your mind is not merely a receiver of information. It is the most powerful creative instrument in the known universe. It is the architect of your destiny, the engine of your desires, the very forge where your dreams are hammered into existence. Go forth, therefore, with this knowledge, with this clarity, with this unwavering faith. Do not allow another moment to pass in indecision or doubt. Transform the impossible into the inevitable. For your mind truly is your ultimate empire. Now go forth and build it.